Kill all enemies before time runs out. You cannot use skills. Speed around.
Isn't this the most astounding thing you've ever seen? I can't say I expected One Finger Death Brunch to be one of my gaming highlights of 2014. It's an indie game by a developer named Silver Dollar Games, and don't worry, I haven't heard of them either. I think it's safe to say no one saw this game coming, because against all odds, this game is stupidly fun. One Finger Death Brunch uses the idea of having only two buttons in a brawler, left click to attack left and right click to attack right, and it expands on that idea to its furthest extent. The first thing you'll notice is how unbelievably satisfying the combat is. This is mainly thanks to some over-the-top audio-visual feedback along with massive hordes of low-health enemies to wipe through. For such a simple concept, it's amazing how much depth this game has, and the skill cap is really high. The entire game essentially comes down to timing, and it punishes button mashing heavily. Depth comes from the different weapons you can use, the different enemy types, the different level types, and the unlockable perks. You'll come across melee weapons as well as ranged weapons, and you'll fight some more interesting enemies that can dodge in different patterns and enemies that require you to complete an attack pattern to kill. Levels include survival levels, kill this many people levels, timed levels, levels with a single weapon, and hit people into objects levels. Combine these with a path-based overworld to unlock some perks, and you're in for a good time with enough content for completionists. The combat gets faster depending on how well you're doing, the difficulty curve and slow-mo are balanced, and you'll want to get perfect scores as much as you can. Put it short, it's really addictive. Aesthetically, the game looks like a Flash game. The transitions and the map screen are both super ugly, but the game is really cheap and it has a good self-aware sense of humor. Ages ago, I was into making stick figure animations in Pivot, and this game really reminds me of that scene, which is something. The animations are pretty cool for what they are, and as I said, the audio-visual feedback during the combat is incredible. Who would have thought a game with only two inputs could be so much fun? From a gameplay perspective, I don't think they could have made this game any better, and I mean that in the best way possible. There's an impressive amount of depth for such a simple concept, so it's easy to learn and hard to master. It's not for everyone, and it might only last you a few hours, but considering the asking price of only $5, One Finger Death Brunch is a no-brainer.